Welcome to another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana. My co-instructor really wants to say hello. Can you behave? I'm Atmadarshan or Laura. This is Oliver. And we're here to talk more about the year-long theme of equanimity. One of the key points of the Bhagavad Gita, that is being able to be yourself, no matter what. Cats, as I've mentioned before, are very good examples of this. He's going to be himself, no matter what. Oh, we've been talking about applying this principle to our own behavior toward ourselves. But as you've noticed in the previous days and week, I've also been looking at how you can apply it in your interactions with others. That could be very educational. I'm going to educationally now let you go. He left me all his hair. Oh, sweet. So that we can focus on the verse du jour. And by the way, today's practice is dedicated to Vonita. It was so good to see you yesterday. And Francine. Oh, as a reminder, the verse we're working with, chapter 4, verse 22, goes like this. Content with what comes in by chance, beyond duality, free from envy, the same in gain and loss. Although he acts, he is not bound. So yesterday I mentioned that, the idea of being a true sports fan is whether your team is winning, whether your team is losing, you are still there for them. And can you be a true fan of yourself? Whether you feel, because it's very subjective, whether you feel like you're winning or you feel like you're losing, from an outside perspective, it might be reversed. So whatever you feel you're going through, can you be a fan of yourself? And let's turn that outward now. Whatever someone around you is experiencing, can you still be a fan of them? And this could be a loved one who is going through gain or loss. Like, notice how you behave toward a loved one who's come into some money, for example, or toward a loved one who's lost some money, to a loved one who seems to be having good luck or bad luck. And also with our aging population, to a loved one who is got good mental health or is losing their memory. Because it can be so easy in our society to see people who we think are well off, fortunate, and then we want to get some of that. Whether it's the wealth or just being near them and having some of that great energy come into our circle. And then we avoid those we think are less fortunate. So for example, if you're walking down the street today, this is very different depending on whether you're in an urban or a rural setting. It's often easier in an urban setting. And you'll pass people who seem to be well off. Notice how you, even if you're just in passing, how you think of them, feel about them. Are you comfortable with them? Are you attracted to them? Do you move closer to them? Versus how you feel if somebody's homeless or asking for money or just doesn't look like they're in a good place. Do you treat those people differently? And if so, why? We don't know people's story behind. I'm not saying this is true in all cases, so please don't think that. But behind the wealth, there could be a story of, something not pleasant. Behind the homelessness, the being unhoused, there could be a story of something admirable. Like a lot of veterans become unhoused when they come back from their service. So, yeah, how do you feel if you're a fan of the armed forces and you see somebody who's in their snappy uniform versus somebody who's sitting on the street asking for coffee when they both could have come from the same background? I encourage you to do this today and see what effect it might have on your world. And for those of you who feel you already do that with humans, can you extend it to other beings? Like, for example, my marigolds here. Oi, come here, my friends. They're my marigolds that I grow, and then there are clover, which I used to consider a weed and pull out. And then I learned about how it fixes nitrogen in the soil, and then I realized it's just another green thing as well. Maybe I didn't plant it on purpose, but I'm going to let it go. My spider friend. Oh, he got off to someplace else today. All right. Let's do our practice, shall we? We'll start with the balance pose. Balance poses help focus the mind. Then we'll do our contemplation on others in gain and loss. Switch. All right. This is a good time to contemplate how we do treat others who seem to be in good fortune or bad fortune. Speaking of gain and loss, something that occurred to me during the balance pose is, in the United States at least, how do we treat people that have gained weight versus lost weight? Oh, maybe something to contemplate for 5. Excuse me. Whoa. Wow, that 5 minutes flew by. Welcome back. I hope that was a useful contemplation for you and that it carries over into your day. Yesterday, those who came to I Meditate Cleveland, the free outdoor event, it was wonderful to see you there. There's another free event coming up next Monday with me, and that's down in the summary section below. Just talking about what I did in Phoenix besides be on this with you. Speaking of this being here with you, please know that I will be here with you no matter what you're experiencing as far as gain or loss. I'll be here with you. So until we see each other again, I wish you nothing but the best.